My earrings, if you guys were wondering, are from SheOrgasms. Make sure you check them out. Description box below. Peace and love, everybody. My name is London Bridges, the Sarah Bruja. Lady London if you're classy, and Mona Kit if you're nasty. Welcome to my channel. If you were drawn here, it's because you want to know everything about health, wealth, and everything erotic and kinky in between. This is my official intro video. I just be posting shit, didn't know what I wanted to do on here, did not know shit. But now I have a niche. Now I know what I want to teach you guys. Now I know where I want to take you guys on the journey with me. Oh, I didn't introduce to you. This is Big Bank Bear. This is Miss Manifest. And this is Pink Love. These are my stuffies. You'll see them a lot. I cuddle with them, I console in them, and I give them lots of love and advice. My stuffies. I am also my submissive identities is a little kitten and princess. But again, I am going to be explaining all of that in my separate videos about those because that would make this video very long. On this channel, I'm really focusing on health and wealth and what comes of that. Things that I do to provide and to manifest health and wealth into my lifestyle. I will be having 3 specific segments called Submissive Diaries, where I will be talking about everything in my experience as a lifestyle submissive and as a new submissive, honestly, because I've only been doing this for maybe like a year now. But how, you know, my experience in this lifestyle and what you should look forward to as a lifestyle or a professional submissive in the game coming in. The next segment will be 10 Hoe Commandments, will be a guide to dating. Dating like a hoe. Thinking like a hoe. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like people in the vanilla world should really take note on how we as sex workers handle our customers, because it creates a lot of respect and boundaries, and a lot of people in the vanilla world don't know about that. Let's be real. So 10 Hoe Commandments, look out for that. And also Erotic Entertainment 101, 12 years of game. And I will be telling you everything I know about erotic entertainment, from stripping to being a professional BDSM provider, to being a burlesque entertainer, all across the board. So definitely look out for that. But yeah, let's get into this video. Who am I? Well, amongst all things, I am a daughter. And I love to say that I'm a daughter because I think it matters. It matters being a daughter. Daughters matter. I am a daughter. I am a beautiful, wholesome entrepreneur, a goddess, a witch, all types of things. But amongst all of that, what I do, I am a burlesque entertainer, a professional submissive, a kink model, and a sensual healer. I know, it's a mouthful. How did I get into the work that I do? Well, story time. I started off as a stripper. I was a stripper for about 10 years. And I'm going to be honest, for at least 7 of those 10 years, I loved the industry. Yes, every workspace, every industry has their ups and downs, but the ups were really up. Yes, the lows were really lows, but the ups were way higher than the lows. And I really loved it. I loved the money. I loved performing erotically. I loved dancing. I loved the look on my customer faces when I would when I would come on stage. I loved everything about it. And it was the job for me. I really thought that I was going to be a stripper for the rest of my life. On the 7th year, I really saw how much the industry was going down, especially for Black women like me. The industry was completely changing. All these clubs were either getting shut down or they were selling them to owners that did not like Black women. I'm going to be honest. They hated us. And the money just was not there for me anymore. But I wanted to continue doing what I do. I wanted to continue performing erotically. And I started doing research. I looked up on the computer. I pulled out my handy dandy Apple Mac, and I started looking up strippers in the past. Strippers from 1920s and strippers from 1950s, because I had an obsession with the 50s and the 20s. Still do. But like around that time, the obsession was like do or die, do or die. So I came across a whole bunch of different burlesque entertainers. I came across Josephine Baker, Hottie Toddy, just a whole bunch of people. And then I came across Eartha Kitt, which I don't believe she's a burlesque entertainer, but I put her under either the erotic entertainment category because she was not afraid to pose nude. She was not afraid to be sexy and sensual, and literally her body just spoke out erotica. And I love that about her. She was my favorite because when just everything that she did, I was just like, oh, this is for me. This is what I want to do. I want to be a burlesque entertainer. I want to sing while I do burlesque. This is what I want to do. And then a couple months later, my mom, well, let's say a year later, actually. Let's say a year later, my mom ended up getting sick. She lives here in Georgia. I was living in New York at the time. And my mom was sick, and it was time for me to come out here. I thought I was going to do everything out in New York, but I said, you know what? Let me try to see what I could do in Atlanta. So I dropped everything. I didn't even tell anybody that I was leaving New York. I just packed everything that I owned, threw out whatever I didn't need, and I popped on a plane, one flight, had no money. I literally had 20 cents in my bank account. Literally. Came out here, and my mom was like, why you have so much stuff? You only staying here for a week. I said, surprise! I quit my job. I'm living here now. She couldn't believe it. She was just like, oh my God, but she needed the help. So in that time, I said, okay, it's time to go. Shout out to my homegirl, Nina, the girl that I used to strip with, a woman. Being better with saying woman. But a young lady that I used to strip with. I let her know before I moved that I wanted to, be out here in these streets. I wanted to be known. And she says, well, you gotta be loopy. We from New York, so we say a couple of things. When she says you gotta be loopy, you gotta be in these streets. You gotta let people see you. You gotta let people know that you out here and what you doing, who you doing it for, and this, that, and the other. So I said, I can do that. I'm an Aquarius. You're probably gonna hear me say I'm an Aquarius 1,000 times in this video. So when I moved out here, I took on that advice. I said, all right, it's time for me to be in these streets. As soon as I came out here, I went to a smoke and paint, and it was really fun. I met a couple of people. And then after that, I saw on my Instagram, somebody was having a photo shoot. I forgot the name of the studio. But they ended up not having the photo shoot. But I reached out to my homeboy, Spencer Charles. Hey, gang. Shout out Spencer Charles. If you see any photos of me, every single photo you see of me that I post, Spencer took it. Or Monsieur Voyelle. That's his erotic page. But I reached out to him, and he was like, I'm not doing a photo shoot for that, but I am doing a shoot for a music video if you would like to do that. I said, bet. Say no more. I'm there. And it was my first time ever doing any type of shoot. But I said, if I want to be out here, I got to be out here. And in that shoot, the person who was directing the shoot was my old co-host for Blunt the Podcast, Brittany Hart. Shout out to Brittany. That is how I got into everything. Literally. We started the podcast. We knew we wanted to make it a sex positive podcast. And honestly, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm coming from the strip club. All I know is the strip club. Literally. All I know is sleeping throughout the day, waking up a certain time, and going to work to the strip club. That's all I knew. I knew nothing about BDSM. I knew nothing about burlesque, barely. Like, I was still doing my research. I knew nothing about tantra. I knew nothing about sensuality, sensual healing. I didn't know all the things that I was actually doing in the strip club. And if it wasn't for having Blunt the podcast, which check out those episodes, they're really dope. It's so many people that I've had conversations with, that we had conversations with. But if it wasn't for Blunt the podcast, honestly, I wouldn't have known about any of this stuff. Shit, I wouldn't have even known about podcasts if it wasn't for Blunt the podcast, because I never listened to a podcast. All I listened to was The Breakfast Club on Power 105.1 and the Angie Martinez Show and Funkmaster Flex. Those are the only things I listen to, and I listen to them on the radio. So after that, I think we did that for about a year, and I got introduced to a whole bunch of different people. I went to Sex Down South. I met Marla Stewart. I met King and Jasmine. I met Tyomi. I met a whole bunch of different people who opened up my eyes to what this world can be. Because I'm not gonna lie, during the 7th year of my stripping and then going on to year 10, it went downhill. I went through hell. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't know, I am a sex trafficking survivor. I was an involuntary sex slave for 2 years, and I escaped on October 2nd of 2019. So there was just a lot of hell that I was going through, and it made me hate being a sex worker. But I loved this life, and I loved this world, and I loved this side of me that I was embracing. And honestly, BDSM, kink, sensual healing, all of that, even sensual fitness, all of that has opened my eyes to the beauty of sex work and what sex work can actually bring to you. So that is everything on how I got into this. How I got into BDSM now, it was in 2020, and I wanted to become a dom, and I'm going to make this story so short. I wanted to become a dom, but I had just escaped from being a sex slave, an involuntary sex slave, and I wanted to heal, and I thought that being a dom, dominating white men, was how I was going to heal. Which, I'm not going to lie, it's definitely a healing experience, but we're going to talk about that in the next video that I have coming up next week. Healing through submission. But when I got into it, I said, okay, I started watching videos by Mistress Marley, and then I was going to be part of her sorority. And one thing that she said was, if you're doing this, don't do it only for the money. Make sure you do it and you're passionate about it, because you will go down a dark hole. And I said, well, God damn it. I am just coming out of a fucking hole. I don't need to go down a dark hole. I need to make sure my priorities are straight. But I knew I still wanted to be part of this world, because I was working in kink parties as a burlesque entertainer. I was doing all these parties, and I said I love this world. A couple months later, I think it was August of 2020. Yeah, August of 2020. Yeah, definitely. August 2020. Jasmine, Jet Setting Jasmine, reached out to me. She really needed an entertainer and a submissive for a performance that she was doing that night. And I said, I'm down. I got COVID tests. I got all this stuff going. Got everything that I needed. I was ready. I was prepared. You know that I have never heard this saying until I moved to the South. What is it called? Is it stay ready so you don't gotta get ready? And one thing about London Bridges is I stay ready. And one thing, I stayed ready. So I pulled up and I bottomed for her. And let me tell you something. I have a video on this channel. I'm gonna learn how to link it, and hopefully don't fight me if I don't. I'm gonna link it up here if I learn how to do it. If it's not here, it's definitely in the description box below. And please don't mind the video. I was still learning how to do YouTube and all that good stuff. But I talk about how healing it was for me. And just the boundary setting and letting me know, like asking me what it is that I like, what I don't like, and everything. And I realized really quickly, like, oh, subs have power. Oh, I got paid to be a submissive. Oh, I could do this. This is for me. This is my path. I also became a professional submissive so that I can learn how to be a perfect dom. I want to be the best dom that I can be. And the only way I know how to learn is by doing or having people do to me. And I wanted to be the dom. I wanted to be a dom that respected my submissives. And in the space that I was, I couldn't do that, especially if white men were going to be my submissives. I was going to abuse them. I knew that I would have. And it was time for me to heal. So I healed through BDSM. And actually, for the first time, 2 weeks ago, even a week ago, I topped a white man, and I'm doing some training to do it. So I did sounding, I did corporal punishment and CBT and stuff like that, and it was amazing. And I knew I was healed because I asked that white man if he was okay, if he was comfortable. 2 years ago, that would not have been me. I would have not cared about that white man. I wouldn't have given a fuck if he was comfortable, and that's very dangerous. And that's going to be a conversation that I have about when vetting a dom or when vetting subs and stuff like that. So that is basically how I got into BDSM and in burlesque. But also sensual healing, my trauma is honestly how I got into it, because it was based out of spirituality. And maybe I will talk about in depth what it's like to be a involuntary sex slave and what my experience was. And not only just to tell my story, but to tell my story for people to recognize if they're going through the same thing that I went through or not. Or to recognize if somebody is approaching them with the same shit. But how I got into it, I started healing myself. I started doing rituals on myself, healing rituals, started giving myself readings, and some friends started asking me, can you read me? Can you make me a spiritual bath? Can you do this for me? And I realized that this is something that is necessary, especially as a woman. Because there's a lot of men out there in the spiritual community that utilize spirituality to be a predator. And I say that because that is my experience. I have experienced men coming to me as a black woman. And I say black woman because there's a lot of white men out there that are learning about African spirituality or spirituality as a whole and targeting black women, but also targeting all colors of women. But I felt like it was a duty of mine to definitely learn and heal myself and utilize my healing techniques for the collective. So that is how I got into all of this, and I really hope it wasn't too long. Honestly, I really hope. Now let's get into all of the things that I do within the different things that I do. The burlesque entertainment, the pro submissive, the kink modeling, and the sensual healer or spiritual advisor, whatever it is you want to call me. I do create adult content on, OnlyFans, Playboy Centerfold, what's the other one? Loyal Fans, stuff like that. I love it. I like to create an artistic way of adult entertainment, if you could understand what I'm saying. I feel like, and a lot of sex workers in the porn industry can definitely relate to this, but in the porn industry, in the adult entertainment industry, black women, black people are looked down on because of what these white production companies portray us as. And they portray us as trash, as black trash, and we're not. We're black elegance, we're black excellence, we're black, shout out to Black X. But me as a BDSM professional, I want to create sexy, artistic kink. I want to create beautiful art. You see, I try to add kink into everything I do, even if it's light kink. I want to provide it. I want to be that entertainer that provides beautiful artwork through kink, whether it's through shibari, whether it's through flogging, corporal punishment, whatever it may be. I'm also a phone sex operator on Night Flirt and Sex Panther, and I am basically a virtual girlfriend. I am a professional submissive, so, you know, tell me what you want me to do. If you want me to be tied up, tell me what you want me to be tied up. If my customer wants me to wear a certain outfit, I'll wear a certain outfit. If they see an outfit that they want me to wear, then they'll buy it for me. I am a spoiled princess. I am a spoiled kitten. I am just spoiled, right, babies? We're spoiled. I also provide readings, virtually and in person, but right now I'm sticking to virtually until I find a safe space that I like to do readings out of. I provide general readings, love and sex readings, and birthday readings. I also provide events, virtual and in-person events, sex positive and spiritual events, such as New Moon, Who Dis, which is a vision board and candle fixing event for the new moon, where we'll manifest everything that we desire every month. It will be something that will close maybe a week before the actual event, because I will be sending you all the tools that you would need for that event. Whatever type of manifesting tools, whatever it is to make the candle, to make the vision board, and all of that good stuff. That is a priced class, about $50. Yeah, $50 class. And then also you have the Let Go and Let Flow, which is a free full moon releasing ritual that we do together. It will be a burning ritual where we'll burn everything that we're wanting to release for that year, or for that month, or for the year, whatever it is that you need to do. Also, another event that I have is my Sacred Little Space, where we are having a virtual little space party. I did say that I am a little, as you can see. It is a virtual party for my fellow littles. And all of these parties are little pieces of the big main event, the big workshop, which is Afternoon Teas, which is an in-person party. So those are all the events that I offer, guys. So I do provide live kink entertainment, live erotic entertainment services as well. So if you would like to hire a burlesque entertainer, or even a submissive for a show that you're having, I'm your gal. Everything's on my website, londonbridges.co. Check it out. Also, I provide sacred kink. Like I said, I am doing my training as a dom, as a top, but I provide, because kink is healing, and I mix up my Reiki training with a little bit of my somatic training with my kink my dom training, and I mix it all into a sacred kink session. In that sacred kink session, it includes readings. Guys, I gotta read it off because I'll go off a rant. But it includes readings, light bondage, light sensory play, light wax play, light impact play, sensual touch, and sensual movements. All of that really definitely depends on the customer that comes to me and what it is that they need, and honestly what comes up in the reading. So definitely check that out, londonbridges.co. So guys, make sure you check out my video. I will be posting a video 3 times a week. Again, it will be Submissive Diaries, the 10 Whole Commandments, and 12 Years of Game, Erotic Entertainment 101. Make sure you check out my next video that's coming up, which will be Finding Healing Through Submission. and I will break down everything on why being a submissive is healing for me and why I chose to be a submissive after escaping from being an involuntary sex slave, because whoa, a lot of people don't understand that. So definitely check that out, and I'll give you all the goods on how that works out. Make sure you check out my website, londonbridges.co. Make sure you follow my Instagram and all my social platforms, London Level Up. Everything will be in the description box below. If you are a fan or want to be an OnlyFan, make sure you check out my OnlyFans page, my Loyal Fans page, or my centerfold, my Playboy centerfold. Or if you want all three, go ahead, be a fan, be a super fan. Let me know that you followed all three. You may get a nice little goodie. But definitely check me out, and peace and love, guys. I love that you guys are here, and I hope you guys enjoy the content that I provide for you guys. Peace and love. That's a wrap.